The United States Navy launched the first Arleigh Burke class destroyer in 1989. The plan was to build a few dozen of them, then move on to a new generation of warship in the early 2000s. The Navy has now ordered more than 90 of them, and the production line is funded to keep building new ones into the 2030s. The current ships rolling out of the shipyards in 2026 are the same basic hull design that entered service nearly 4 decades ago. That is not how American naval procurement is supposed to work. Every other major Cold War-era warship class was retired and replaced on a generational schedule. The Arleigh Burke was never supposed to be the exception. It was supposed to be the bridge to something better. So, what happened to the replacement? The short answer involves a stealth destroyer that cost the Navy more than any surface ship class in its history, a cruiser program that was canceled outright, and a quiet decision in the Pentagon to keep building a 1980s design because nothing the Navy tried to put after it actually worked. The full story is stranger than the headline. To understand why the Arleigh Burke is still in production in 2026, you have to start with the war it was originally built to fight. The Arleigh Burke was conceived in the early 1980s, at the height of the Second Cold War, around a single overriding threat: Soviet anti-ship missiles. The Soviet Navy had spent the previous 2 decades building a fleet specifically designed to attack American carrier battle groups, and the centerpiece of that effort was the long-range cruise missile. Soviet bombers, submarines, and surface ships could all launch anti-ship missiles at standoff ranges, and a coordinated attack on a U.S. carrier group was the kind of scenario that kept American naval planners awake at night. The Navy's existing escort destroyers, the Spruance class and the older Charles F. Adams class, were not built to defeat that threat. They had limited radar coverage, limited missile capacity, and limited ability to coordinate fire against multiple incoming missiles simultaneously. What the Navy needed was a single ship that could detect, track, and shoot down a saturated missile attack on its own, while operating as part of a coordinated battlegroup network. The answer was the Aegis combat system, developed through the 1970s and matured by the early 1980s. The Arleigh Burke was designed from the keel up as a platform for Aegis, a destroyer built around the radar and combat system, rather than a combat system fitted into an existing destroyer. The first ship, USS Arleigh Burke, was commissioned in 1991. Named for a World War II admiral known for aggressive surface combat tactics,